Hello everybody, this is Katerina Pavlou from the Lightworks Method, and I am starting my broadcasting series with a Halloween special. I will be doing videos for each star sign and an additional one. I am featured in the Playful magazine, which is a very new edition. It is in Berlin, and you can find my taroscopes in here. You can also find an article about me. This is me. So this is for November, December and January 2019-2020, and you can find it in cafes and restaurants in Berlin. It is like the first issues are for free, so make sure you check it out when you see it. It's a very, very interesting, very Berlin, very beautiful magazine, very uncensored and just like beautiful work. There's going to be an online version of the Playful magazine, and of course you will find me on my own webpage as well, which is going to be online soon. And now we're going to start with Aries. I'm going to do my readings by featuring the Halloween special, the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Beautiful cards. So, my dear Aries, I am going to do your reading for Halloween and what kind of information or miracles you are going to learn, see, discover, remember on this time of the year where the veil between the worlds becomes much thinner than normal, and we get the incredible opportunity to be in the manifested and the non-manifested world at once. The first position is talking about the issue, the situation. The second position talks about the hidden issue. I would say it talks about the real meaning of things, the background. The third position is talking about the hidden obstacle, according to the cards. I would say circumstances. The fourth position talks about your fears. The fifth position talks about your solution. And the sixth position talks about the outcome. What is going to happen if you follow the solution? The spider. The spider is an incredible card for many reasons. One of the main reasons is that the spider is considered something very Halloweenish, to put it this way. I mean, I don't know if you noticed all the little spiders on my table. But it is like one of the symbols of Halloween, and there is a reason for that, because the spider is considered traditionally in the symbolic of the animals as someone who works a lot and very effectively, weaves. Don't forget, we're going to see it also later on. Witches are considered the weaver of the worlds, meaning the manifestors. You have the spiral already here, which is the geometry of creativity and creation. You have the yellow color, which is traditionally the color of air. Intellect, thoughts, ideas, everything starts with the idea. Everything that exists in the three-dimensional world has been downloaded from the world of ideas. Very old notion, even Plato. Actually, Plato became famous about it, like for it. Well, we're going to credit Plato now, but I'm pretty sure that many thinkers, many philosophers thought about it as well. This glam you see here, all this glamour, I would call it, all this light, Light stands for clarity and form. I would say that whatever interacts with light exists in the three-dimensional world, meaning light is shining in your creation is taking form, and what you're weaving is actually coming into fruition. The Stacey DeMarco who created the cards actually put a subtitle on it, and it calls like community and web weaving. So networking could be something that you're dealing with right now, you're thinking about right now. Either you're doing it or you're not doing it, or you want to do it or you think you should do it. Whatever it is, I would say exactly like the spider, the focus, the power is on you right now. Even if you think that it is on other people, it is not. It is on you. So if you feel that things are dependent on other people, take the power back into yourself, because I'm pretty sure you underestimate your power maybe right now, if you think like that. If not, if you're aware of it, well, check. Maybe you could also think even higher about yourself when it comes to that point. And I would also say that the web is the World Web as well. That the web is, the internet. So if you are actually if your business has to do with internet, if you are going online, if you're making like a new web page, if you're selling online, if you're writing, if you're creating context online, if even if it's everything that has to do with online business, passive income, things like that, is amazing right now. So we could say that right now opportunity rises when it comes to everything that is connected to business, communication, and the internet. Or also, take it, I had a little fly here. Or also take it, just very, very spread, very, very widely, internationally, moving, like anything that has to do outside your house, because your house is your house. Community means people around you, places around you, foreign markets, foreign contacts, traveling, everything that could bring you business, or could bring you connections, or could bring you contacts right now. All that. Fantastic. Another way to see the card, because the spider is also connected to words. The yellow, the intellect, the idea. This is something, a symbol that we take for words. So if you're a writer, if you're creating art with words, if you're singing, although singing is fire as well, to have like a little bit of red there, but no, I would say it's orangey, so sure. Actually there is an orange shimmer around it, so sure, why not? If you're a poet, if you're a writer, if you're writing professionally, if you're a script writer, everything that has to do with words is right now what you should focus on. Or it could be completely different from everything that we said. I mean, if what I have already said does not cover you, and you are in a completely different theme, in a completely different situation, your business is completely different, then I would say that there is information, very concrete information, in the form of words or through internet or from other countries that is coming to you right now, and it makes you feel not alone. You're part of a community, you're finding your tribe, your love, whatever it is. There's information now, in this period of time, where the veil between the worlds becomes thin, that is very important to you and to creating your life. I'm going to move on to the second card, and this is the Witch. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the other deck by Stacey DeMarco. I mean, she has many, but the other one I have, which is the Aradia deck, the Gospel of Aradia. It's the first witch, it's the first feminist as well. So it is like, it is a deck where DeMarco actually gets to research a lot and think a lot around the concept of the witch. And she calls the witches the world's weavers. I would say that that is another take on manifestation. Basically, what does the witch do? The witch understands what the situation is, what the situation should be, the desired outcome. She knows how to get there, and she actually goes those steps one by one in a symbolic way. She prepares the path. If you believe it in your brain, it's going to happen in your life. You are now, as I said before, with the spider, you are now the one who's having the power to create. Again, if you feel that you're not, yes, you are. Maybe you never thought about it before, maybe you're not exactly somebody who works with that kind of symbolism, but actually, do you see all that fire? Like, fire is will, fire is intent, fire is the lust for life. And that is the material out of everything is created. So whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you want to experience, whatever it is that you want to communicate, whatever it is that you want to create, if you think you're really far away from it, you're not. Maybe sometimes just wanting it, maybe sometimes just wishing it is enough. And this card indicates for me, especially in this very favorable time of the year when it comes to magic, that whatever you want, you can manifest it like that. Think about that. Maybe you're much, much closer to your outcome than you think. Definitely, you're in a very powerful position. The third card. Now, DeMarco says that this is the position of the obstacle. I would say it's circumstances, like that's what I would call it. And in this case, it is also called the blind spot. I think that's also a fantastic way to describe the position. It's the blind spot. The skull of darkness. There are, I think, 4 skulls in this deck. Beautiful deck for the most magical night of the year, she says, but also like that could be every night of the year. I have to say, I waited until the sun went down to start doing these readings because I think that exactly the same way that when we close our eyes, we actually free ourselves from the perception of our realities, and we can see, to put it this way, more. I think that's exactly what the night does to our brain. And I think that exactly when it comes to this kind of information, it's fantastic to read in the night, especially when we are reading about the most magical night in the year. Not that it's not excellent to do readings during the daytime, because everything takes form. Everything that interacts with light is 3-dimensional. Things that they do not interact with light, we cannot see them even if they exist. A basic example of that, dark matter. So I think what it says here is the only thing that stands in your way is the thing that you do not see. There is nothing from the outside world that is blocking your path right now. What you're missing is a little bit of clarity, and it's coming. The light is shining there. It is coming. So I would say this time is time for action as well. I mean, let's say you're capable of acting, absolutely capable of acting. But before you do that, like every good witch, prepares a ritual. So before you start acting, before you take those steps to the manifestation of whatever it is that you want to do, I would say be open to messages. Be open to random channelings. Maybe on Halloween you pay attention to the symbols, to your dreams, to what your subconscious is saying. Talk to people, write down everything that you want to know or that you're about to do about a life situation or a project. Anything that it is that is there. Anything that is there. Work with words. Words are so good of bringing up memories and thoughts and desires that we have forgotten. Because a lot of people say the brain works with words, so it's maybe the best symbol ever. I mean, imagine we think that a spell that a spell is words. Well, it is words as well. But actually, spell means a period of time that you concentrate on something. There is an expression, come in and sit a spell, or at least that's an example of the meaning of the word, meaning just take some time. It is the time that we're taking, concentrating on specific meanings that embody our desire. That manifest our realities. Specific time, with the words that describe a specific meaning, which embodies our desire, which brings the desired outcome, which manifests our wish. So, be open this Halloween. There's information coming in. The information may be not expected. So whatever is uncomfortable right now, do not avoid it. Do not avoid it for the life of you. Don't do that. My dear Aries, don't do that. Don't do that. I know that you're fire and you want to move forward a lot, but this is Halloween. Play a little. Upside down a little. Do something that doesn't feel maybe the most comfortable or more natural thing to do. So, there is some information coming in that it is for you right now pure gold. Now, you know what? While I was actually testing the cards, trying out the cards, preparing for this series of videos, I did a lot of readings for myself as well, and I got this card a lot, the Zombie. The Zombie has a subtitle, Control. Now, is your biggest fear to control or to be controlled? Is your biggest fear not to control everything? Is your biggest fear that if you actually let completely go and go for it, go for whatever it is that you want, that things are going to spin up? They're going to spiral out of your control. You know what? Call the magic. All this idea with the Halloween and spirits come in and out. The world's like being fluent and made out of water. Use it. Call them. Call them to help you. It's another take on dive into your subconscious and let it speak to you. 1, 2, 3 cards talk about personal empowerment, and the 4th card, your fear, is that you don't have enough of it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be absolutely fine. It could be actually that wanting to control things too much could be also your blind spot. It could just take a little bit too much of your attention away, so you cannot concentrate on the things that really matter. The solution, the lamp, remembrance. Now, I love this card for 3 reasons. One is the story that traditionally in Halloween people put lights in the windows for the dead loved ones to find their way back home and, reunite with the living loved ones even for the short period of one time, on one night in the year. The second thing is that I love the idea of light within, darkness without, because it's usually the other way around. And everything that has to do with lighthouses and how ships actually find their way back to the land, why you shouldn't light cigarettes from a candle, all these kind of things. I mean, I love all these symbolisms. Light guides. This is a guiding light. And the third reason is because to me this card is very much about the past, what has died. Nothing has died. Everything exists simultaneously. Time does not exist in a linear form. Scientists know about it. So basically, this is another take for me on the subconscious card. We left parts of us behind because we're separated from them, because we think that we do not identify with them anymore. Is it memories we're talking about? Is it people we're talking about? Is it our ancestors we're talking about? Is it our family lines we're talking about? Whatever it is, I'm not saying you should pick up the phone necessarily and talk to these people that you don't want to talk to, although it is an idea. I'm saying go back into the past maybe and get inspired. And allow the past to catch up with you as well. That's absolutely fine. Now you have the luxury to go in, relax, let everything be a little bit chaotic, be a little bit trick and treaty, tricking you and treating you at the same time. And a sparkle is going to go into your brain. The new idea coming from here, through there, will be crystal clear to you. Absolutely freaking crystal clear. Seriously? Your solution is again, maybe a little bit against your nature, I would say, but it is again, to just light that lamp, ask, turn that magnet on, and let things come to you. Let things come to you and you can sort them out later. You know something that you forgot. You know it. That's why you're in this position of the witch. You know how to do this. You know it. The outcome, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Reducing burden, DeMarco says. Reducing burden. The Greek word for forgiveness means to create space for both opinions. Like sometimes the things are not just contradictory, they're actually complementary. Seeing the other side as well, or allowing space for the other side, the other opinion, the other idea. Because forgiveness is supposed to be very healing, and it is, and healing means also like becoming whole, I would say that whatever it is that you're comfortable with, whatever it is that you pushed in the past, embrace it. It's you. It's fine. It's great. It's probably what makes you great. There's gold in the darkness. There's gold in the depths. There's treasures in the bottom of the sea. You're super powerful right now. Super, 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 super powerful right now. I do not believe in shoving down your throats forgiveness for people in situations that you're not ready to forgive. I would say just allow space for everybody's opinion. You don't have to change yours. You don't. And if you're being harsh on yourselves, oh well. Let it go, maybe. Hard to do, easy to say, but maybe it's a good idea. So, my dear ones, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to use like my own oracle. I've made a little oracle. I say little because actually it's like 80 cards almost, but it is just one word oracle. And I use it as a clarifier for everything. So we'll just pull a couple of these. Yes, I will use all of those. 1. The Balladeer. Write on this card whatever you feel like. Cocooning. That is great. It's exactly what we were talking about before. Your natural tendency is like to move on, to go for it, to act, to create, and this is fantastic. This is exactly the kind of desire that comes up like through this. Maybe you're also like learned to do everything like through hard work, where actually all you need is just to concentrate on what you like the best. Like be lazy in the outside and be super fiery and full with desire on the inside, because it actually is your will which is going to manifest everything. The work is basically for you, to be completely honest. Own situations, own things. You're on your own in a very good way. It means that all the power is in you. There's nothing, as I said before, there's nothing from the outside that is actually blocking your passage in any way. There is a beginning here. There's a beginning of something here. There's a beginning that is giving you choice. It is giving you choice. Maybe it is also very new to you to either get control if this is not what you're usually doing, or to let go of control. This is completely up to you. There's a question to ask here. Again, I'm taking everything that is falling down, I'm telling you. We're talking about a balance between your own fire, between like what you manifest yourselves, and the lightning, which is actually the divine intervention, is the Deus Ex Machina, is the power that is coming from above to help you, the message that is coming through the worlds, like the light that is guiding you, or the light that you turn on, like to attract divine interference from the outside. Ask and you will receive. So there is a balance here to create. Is up to you. Ask yourselves, how do you want to do this? To which degree? Between like your own fire, you being the weaver of the worlds, and how much you allow the universe to just do the work for you instead of you working far too hard maybe sometimes. Great, it's amazing. We have lots of time in life. It's great to be creative and do things. But we can also manifest just like this. So this is up to you whether you want to do the whole thing, or you're actually going to allow gifts and outcomes just to fall on your lap. This is two different ways of fire. One's from the inside, one's from the outside. And I think that this is basically explaining the blind spot. Allow love in. You are in love right now. You want to be in love right now. We are talking, all this is about love. Whatever it is, maybe you don't need to do all the work on your own. You can if you want to. It's very enjoyable to move, but you don't have to. So all you need to do is switch on your light, your magnet, and attract love. Love is coming to you. If you're in love, I think this is going like really well if you're in love. Let's see. Yeah, I said I'm going to take all of them, but those were too many. But I'm going to say take this. Ooh, very romantic love. Love in the moonlight. It's also about reflection. Blind spot a little bit. If you are in an uncomfortable love situation, if something is really triggering you or provoking you, or you are you're afraid of like slipping into a habit that you don't want to sleep in, and you're trying to control yourself, this is your answer. Let it happen, and don't you worry. You're so powerful. You're so powerful right now that you can totally take this charge. You can totally take this charge. And then you see what you do with it afterwards. The word for ugly in Greek means the one that has no shape. Not even a good form. Good form, that's the word for beauty. No shape is the word for ugliness. So what is actually that you need to forgive right now is whatever you haven't achieved or whatever other people haven't achieved. So we're talking about expectations and fulfillment here. I'm not saying you should lower your standards. No freaking way am I saying lower your standards. I'm just saying to the things that they're no shape, to the things that they don't have a life yet. You bring life with your flame. You have a lot of shades of fire here everywhere. And I mean, that makes absolute sense, because look at you here. You're basically bursting into flames from the heart chakra because you create with your hands, with your bare hands you do. And you are covering that up, are you? Is it for you actually the other way around? Is it that you have done this far too long and you actually need to get out there and do it? A balance of the inside and the outside. This is like for you to judge where you are and how you're gonna use and utilize this. But remember what is important and don't worry about the rest too much. I'm not saying cut corners, I'm not saying compromise, I'm not saying living with things that you don't like. I'm just saying it's up to you. You will form everything in good time. And I will say goodbye with one card of the Witch's Wisdom. Because it's Halloween. Dedication, altar. Set your intention first. I'm not saying don't act. Act once you've decided what your ritual is going to be. You're nesting great power. Great power. Do not abandon your wishes at all. You really, really, really do not have to. You really do not have to. You don't have to. And this is your Halloween special by Katerina Pavlou in the Lightworks Method. And let me know what you think and what you wish for. And yeah, I'm delighted to be part of your community. Weaver of the Worlds, and go for it. In here is up to you. Write whatever you want. So, love you loads. Have an amazing Halloween.